I think you'll agree with me when I say that two of the most iconic cards in Yu-Gi-Oh history are Kaiba's Blue Eyes White Dragon and Joey Wheeler's Red Eyes Black Dragon. Not only were these two fan favourites among the most powerful monsters in the original anime, but even in the physical TCG back in the early days of 2002. Most people had these cards as prized possessions from their newly purchased starter decks, now giving the original artworks a sense of nostalgia and, well, sentimental value. Over the course of the years, neither of these two iconic cards really saw play in any competitive format, and were mostly just played as casual, fun decks. Until 2016. Shining Victories released a ton of great support for Blue Eyes decks, including a new extra deck boss monster in the form of Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon. This, in combination with the movie pack release of Blue Eyes Alternative White Dragon, shot Blue Eyes into the meta, where they ended up winning the World Championships. Unfortunately, the same can't really be said for our Red Eyes Black Dragon here. All of the support it ever received seemed to change the direction of the deck and conflict with its already existing playstyles, and so it became a meme that it was always the dictionary definition of potential. As a side note, Red Eyes actually was one of the top decks of the format in Konami's mobile version of the game Duel Links, but we're strictly speaking about the trading card game here. Now along comes 2020 and the release of Red Eyes Dragoon. The card itself is arguably up there as one of the strongest boss monsters ever printed, made easily accessible through Red Eyes Fusion and Predaplant Verte Anaconda. A combination of Yugi's Dark Magician and Joey's original Red Eyes, finally giving that old nostalgic card a claim to the competitive fame. Unfortunately, it's more of a generic engine, and the Red Eyes deck itself still kinda sucks, but that's besides the point. In today's video, we're going to be attempting to combine these two titans of Yu-Gi-Oh history into a single deck, and seeing what we can do with it. Of course, requested by Red Gaming. As always for Sub Sundays, if you have a challenge you want to see featured, leave your suggestion in the comments, and while you're down there, upvote the other ideas you think would make a good video, and maybe you'll see it in the next episode. Finally, before we jump into the challenge here, I want to set ourselves some goals to aim towards, and hopefully make the challenge a little bit more fun and interesting. So firstly, of course, we want to win a match, that's obvious enough. The second goal is to have both Red Eyes and Blue Eyes on the field at the same time. I think that would be pretty epic. Next, I want to summon Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, and in that same fashion, I also want to summon Black Skull Dragon. Lastly, I want to relive some of the hype anime moments and perform some signature moves. Burst Stream of Destruction and Inferno Fire Blast.
Inferno Fire Blast!
Oh god, okay, so getting into the deck that we're going to be using for this challenge, this is what we have to work with. I think it's definitely worth noting that I get about 10 to 30 minutes to throw the deck together before jumping into the challenge. So yeah, that'll maybe explain a few things. I did feel like the Blue Eyes and Red Eyes counterparts required too many different core cards to actually function as like decks themselves. So I've just created this giant amalgamation of normal monsters and dragon support, and so the goal is to dump as much monsters as possible through like Red Eyes Insight and Dragon Shrine, and then revive them through the likes of Return of the Dragon Lords and Silver's Cry, and hopefully go from there. Although I would say the main win condition here is just relying on Red Eyes Dragoon to carry us to victory. So we have Red Eyes Insight, which can search for Red Eyes Fusion and just summon him like that. So obviously we're not really going to be building up a big board going first, so I've opted to go second because that 6th card will really help us out, and I've put in things like Raigeki and Lightning Storms as well to help break boards where we need it. So we actually have 3 Blue Eyes, 3 Red Eyes, Dark Magician for Dragoon, and Summon Skull for Black Skull Dragon. Red MD, the idea here is to like revive a dragon fusion monster, so it really won't come up that often. Blue Eyes Alternative to search off the Melody. Levianeer also to search off the Melody. Triple Cosmo Brain because it's a free special summon. It's a level 7 and it can tribute into like Blue Eyes from deck or something if you need it. Double Red Eyes Fusion because it's searchable off Red Eyes Insight. Triple Return of the Dragon Lords, Raigeki, Lightning Storms. 1 Burst Stream of Destruction and 1 Inferno Fire Blast down here. 1 Mind Control, obviously a very good card going second. Triple Dragon Shrine, a Triple Melody, Fire Blast, Double Dragon's Mirror, so we can summon things like Blue Eyes Ultimate, 5-Headed Dragon, First of the Dragons, which is actually quite a good card, Triple Insight, Double Silver's Cry, and Red Eyes Spirit, which is also searchable off Red Eyes Insight if we open Red Eyes Fusion, and yeah, this can revive Dragoon. It's not hard once per turn. This card is actually so broken, so this is definitely going to be like the main crux of victory here. The extra deck is pretty generic, rank 8, rank 7s, Link Rebo just for... I actually don't know why I have Link Rebo in there. All of these can be summoned off fusion cards. First of the dragons is just any 2 normal monsters. We can summon this with Dragon's Mirror, and it can't be destroyed by battle, and it's unaffected by other monster effects. So yeah, that's pretty tough for some decks to deal with. In the side deck, of course, for going first, we have Triple Maiden for some Blue Eyes stall options. We have Triple Strike as well, just to sub out the Lightning Storms. Nibiru, just in case we run into some stupid Halki Fibrax combo deck, and Rage with Eyes of Blue, which sacrifices everything to summon 3 copies of Blue Eyes from the deck and then hopefully OTK. Probably not going to happen, but yeah, this is what we're working with. The goal is to complete the challenges, that's it. It's not supposed to be a good deck. Jumping into the games here, we're playing against Big Fred first, and 2 of the main ways to out Dragoon are either with Super Poly or kaijus like Gamma Seal and Godarla. You can also beat over it because it's not protected by battle, but it gains attacks so quickly that that's not really a reliable way to get rid of it. So he's made us go first here, unfortunately, but we do open the Red Eyes Insight, getting us to the Fusion and therefore Dragoon. The thing that makes Fusion kind of fragile is the restriction on it, that the turn you activate this card, you're not allowed to normal or special summon any other monsters, like at all. So because it can send materials from the deck, it can be responded to with Ash Blossom, and because Ash doesn't negate the activation of the card, you're still under that restriction. So yeah, Ash Blossom can really hurt the card. So we do get the Dragoon out going first here, and we set Silver's Cry before passing turn, but Fred is playing Crusadia One Punch. Like I mentioned before, Fred does happen to drop the Gamma Seal and gives us a slap. In the second game, I make him go first. We have Red Eyes Fusion, and we also have Nibiru to stop him as well. He activates Waterfront and sets a monster before passing turn. I think the set was actually a misclick, but yeah, that's what we got to deal with.
Actually, why did I set that? No! No! Yeah, I could have stopped the Red Eyes Fusion! Red Eyes Fusion!
We have both Insight and Red Eyes Fusion, so we can search for the Spirit, get to Dragoon and pop his card, which was an Ash, and if he is able to out the Dragoon, we can just bring it back with Spirit. So yeah, broken. And he does, of course, have the Kaiju once again to tribute over it.
Oh my god! That is so cancer.
He actually is able to get rid of it again as well, because he gets rid of the Godarla with Pancratops and then tributes over it with another Kaiju. He's basically put everything he has towards getting rid of Dragoon, so it's now time for the scuffed part of our deck to start making some plays. After clearing the Gamma Seal, I summon Cosmo Brain and Red Eyes back from the graveyard, overlay into Flare Metal, revive Red Eyes once again, and it's over to him. With Flare Metal being a quick effect, I'm able to summon back yet another Red Eyes, and he does attempt to attack over one of the Red Eyes with Regulex, but because we have Return of the Dragon Lords in the grave, we can protect it and take it on the next turn. And then game 3 went exactly the same way as game 1, and we lost. Next, we're up against Rez on the Plunder Patrols, and this is the thing about Dragoon. Some decks, literally, if they're not playing the generic removal, just can't do anything about it.
Can Plunder out Dragoon?
No. I mean, they can, but like, they need to get bigger.
Make Plunders big again.
Shut up.
Ending on a fairly standard Plunder board, which would actually put up a good fight against most decks. I top deck a Melody, which actually baits out his Ash Blossom, and then we just summon Dragoon. Easy.
Gotta do it now, otherwise I'm just gonna get negated. There's really nothing I can do, honestly. I can summon this, but like, it doesn't do anything. Ugh. I forgot it also burns. Why does it have to burn? Just doesn't make sense.
This is the most custom card I've ever seen.
It's not once per turn. No, of course it's not once per turn, dude. This video to show how stupid, like, I hate when I see people argue, Dragoon is not the problem card, Anaconda is. Shut up, Dragoon is so fucking annoying to deal with. He's probably gonna negate this. Of course you are. And
also, by the way, permanent attack gain.
There's just nothing I can do.
It's so busted.
I just can't do anything. I'm sorry, but I just cannot do anything.
That whole game, I literally resolved 2 cards in 1 because Dragoon is just that powerful. Game 2, we are going second, and we do have the Red Eyes Fusion once again, and he doesn't actually see any monsters in his opening hand, so he just sets 2 and passes. This time, he doesn't Ash the Melody, and does in fact Ash the Red Eyes Fusion, so I'm locked out of summoning, and he survives a turn.
Oh my god, why can't I draw a monster? Just so shit.
So I'm gonna fucking do it again.
Why is this so stupid?
Just do what I do and make monster big.
I need the field spell to make monster big. I'm going to hope in the next turn. I'm going to use all my cards next turn.
Next turn, he says. Next turn, he says. Five-headed dragon.
Oh my god, I can't doubt this.
Win a match. Completed. Next, we're going second against Cyber Dragons. We have a Lightning Storm to bait out the Infinity Negate if he does end on an Infinity, which he does. He ends on Infinity and Cyber Dragon with a back row, and we top deck Dragon's Mirror. Already, I can feel the big PP energy flowing because we can activate Dragon's Shrine to dump 2 Blue Eyes, Melody to dump the 3rd, and then Dragon's Mirror for our boy, Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon.
Now I create a dual monster without peer, with attack force so great that no monster can stand against him. I create the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon!
Demolishing his Infinity with our Beast honestly felt so good, but inevitably, because it's a monster that has absolutely no protection, it just gets yoinked on the next turn and we lose. But still, we summoned it, so that's a win in my books. In the next match against Machina, with no access to Red Eyes Fusion, we only have our vanilla plays, and we do kind of struggle to keep up with it and eventually get OTK'd. Games 2 and 3, however, are a little different. This time I do actually open up Red Eyes Insight, which doesn't get ashed, allowing me to get to Fusion, which also doesn't get ashed, allowing me to get to Dragoon. Machina also has no way to deal with Dragoon, so after resolving those 2 cards, we literally win the game yet again, just like the Plunder match. Then in game 3, we also see Red Eyes Fusion and yeah, Dragoon. Imagine winning a match with 4 cards. Busted, man. Absolutely busted. We then have Evil Eye with Gorgon set up with Selene equipped and the field spell active, so I activate Insight searching for Red Eyes Fusion, which gets met with a Judgment. Paying half his life points, Judgment negates the activation of Red Eyes Fusion, so I can continue to summon, and I see my opportunity to swoop in and complete a challenge. Pitching a Blue Eyes to summon Cosmo Brain, I then activate the effect of Cosmo Brain to tribute itself and summon Blue Eyes from the deck. I then go to revive another Blue Eyes with Return of the Dragon Lords to threaten a beatdown, but he chains DD Crow, banishing the target, so I set Red Eyes Spirit, and on my next turn, summon the Red Eyes for Red Eyes and Blue Eyes both on the field. A second challenge complete, man. Look how nice it looks. You can just feel the nostalgia. We then went on to lose the match 2-1, unfortunately, but we completed a challenge, so I'm happy. In the next game, we actually win the match without using Dragoon whatsoever. We're up against True Draco. He snowballs to the point where the match literally looks unwinnable and hits me for 8,000 points of damage, leaving me with just 1,000 that he'd given me off Upstart Goblin. Yo, what a top deck, man. Yeah, clearing his board with Raigeki leaves True Draco with like literally 2 or 3 monsters left in the entire deck. He also has Diagram Live, so honestly, I have no idea why he didn't just use that to search for a monster and win. Instead, he passes turn, flips Imperial Order on my Dragon's Mirror, and slowly dies to his own Imperial Order. Game 2, he replaces his 1 copy of Diagram with a Necro Valley and then just doesn't see a monster for the rest of the game. Thank you, True Draco. Very cool. Next up we have Zombies. We make him go first, and I assume he bricks because he does nothing, he just passes turn. Our Red Eyes Insight gets ashed, so I just revive the Red Eyes that I send with Return of the Dragon Lords and beat him down. Easy game 1. Game 2, he doesn't brick quite as hard, he ends on the standard zombie board and gets Baldarok back in my standby phase as well. But we have the play, boys, we have the play! Activating Melody, I get a search for Blue Eyes and Alternative, summon Alternative, and actually do the thing. Hell yeah. The sad thing is that I was going to follow this up by summoning Cosmo Brain and tagging out into the 3rd Blue Eyes from the deck. Then I'd be able to Dragon's Mirror into Blue Eyes Ultimate, but for some reason on the summon of Cosmo Brain he flips Called By and banishes my Blue Eyes. So we get our revenge by summoning Dragoon in game 3 and taking the match. News just in, Endymions also can't out Dragoon. That's another win in the bag. I really didn't expect to win this much. I just want to summon Black Skull Dragon and activate Inferno Fire Blast. Oh my god, dude, he's got exactly 2,400 life points left. I have Red Eyes in the graveyard and a set Silver's Cry, so we're gonna Inferno Fire Blast him literally for game. Oh no, he's realized that Dragoon's too strong. He's realized there's no point playing and he can't get over it. Please. No, don't surrender, please. Please, don't surrender. Come on. No! Why? I just wanted to burn you for game. Yo, guess what? Turns out Dragon Maids also cannot out Dragoon. Come on, give me Fire Blast. Yo! Okay, okay. Oh boy. Okay, here we go. Are you ready for 2 challenges in 1? As long as he doesn't negate my insight. Here we go. Send as cost. Please don't Ash. Oh, we're getting it. Okay, Red Eyes Fusion to the hand. Here we go, boys. Black Skull Dragon coming on out. Don't Ash. We did it, boys!
Black Skull Dragon!
And the Inferno Fire Blasts.
Inferno Fire Blast!
Boom! 3k to the face. Oh my god, he can't target Dragoon, so he has to target himself. Turns out Rika also cannot out a Dragoon. So there you have it. In conclusion, I would say that we have successfully completed the challenge of building a deck using Red Eyes and Blue Eyes. Not only that, but I would say this video has also served the purpose of demonstrating how stupid of a card Red Eyes Dark Dragoon is. I actually think we had a positive win ratio, and most of it was just resolving Red Eyes Fusion. The card comes out in August and it's literally a dumpster fire waiting to happen, especially when you can turbo out multiple copies through the likes of Magicalized Fusion and stuff as well. And with Red Eyes having in-archetypal ways of reviving it as well, man, there's going to be some interesting builds out there. So yeah, that's going to do it for this one. Remember to leave your challenges in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. If this is the first video you've stumbled across from my channel, please consider subscribing for more, and I will see you on Thursday with the next episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! From Scratch. Sayonara.
To slow down, fireplace to